Market update. Solana, is it sending a message? Can there be one coin markets? Could it be Solana? Could it be Doge? Stay tuned to find out. I think this is DCA in May, where you take advantage of ugly-ish down days to get in the right sectors. What are the right sectors? Check out my Patreon. This show is brought to you by my Patreon, patreon.com/unhinged crypto. The link is down below. We have this remarkable QR code that you can scan on your phone. Every day for the last 4 days, I'm doing like a mini altcoin overtime. So every post has got 4 altcoin charts that are at or near support. So we're covering all the sectors, and in the store, I've got gaming, which is completely underrated. The more sad or discouraging the news is, the more I'm convinced gaming is coming back. Gaming. And I have a special report in there about interest rates and the forbidden tokens. I can't even say it, and I'm not even joking. Okay, the report is in there. It's in the Patreon store. The link to the Patreon store is in the comments and in the link down below. Go check it out because that report is going to be major for May, June, July, and August. What it's all about, I have to leave it up to you. Not saying a word because I can't. Let's welcome who's here. Raymond, Huckleberry Native, what's up? Sealess, Scott, Maynard coming in from the UK, liked the podcast in Patreon. Yes, Patreon has a 20-minute podcast every day. Coaching, enthusiasm, news, TA, straightforward. Gian, welcome. Quiet Dawn, Cat D, Bart. I'd buy that for $1. Giving me some love. Thank you. Bull Runner. Willimeter is here with the like button. Thank you. Sheb Crossfade from Holland, a new name. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Sheb is here. Alzerian on Solana. Draco Velli from Twitter. Welcoming our audience from Twitter, from YouTube, or wherever you are coming from. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live and help that algorithm. Help that algorithm. Hit the like button. And of course, this is a very good time to say how grateful I am to my Patreon members who help bring this free content to you. Oh my God, Elias from South Africa in the house. Purple Roads Finance catching me live. DC Precise. Yes, sir. I am on as often as humanly possible. Johannes, welcome. Okay, news. All the news that's fit to say. Warning from the Breakdown Nation. The fates of formal model economies carry a lesson for current stars. So there are a couple of economies in the world that are doing very good on paper. Sometimes, no, not sometimes, all the time, nothing outperforms forever. Nothing. So if, I don't know, these economies are doing better than you might think, you have to remember that 10 years ago, there was a country out there that was viewed as unstoppable. And in the 1990s, there was an economy in Asia that was viewed as unstoppable. Currently, housing prices in one of those big countries, the one that's underperforming now, housing prices are dropping faster in that country than they were in the other country in the 90s. It's called a bust. Busts can be contagious. Busts lead to lower rates. Pounding the table on that, the Patreon store. Now, let's review. I believe Warren Buffett is selling Apple. So let me get this straight. A certain big tech company has $110 billion on hand. They're using it to buy back the stock, and Warren is selling it to them. And Warren is somewhere in here says that he is perfectly okay collecting 5% interest. He doesn't really see, he's like, yeah, he goes, it's down here. He goes, yeah, I don't mind expanding the cash stakes. I don't mind. Yeah. Okay. I have $200 billion. I'll sit this one out. Thanks. Now, if Warren Buffett doesn't like the risk asset environment, that's a little bit concerning. Is crypto a canary in the coal mine warning about some bigger problem? Maybe. However, I am willing to take the risk that we need new forms of gaming, new forms of finance, new forms of money. The decoupling is coming. The question is, how much difficulty and discomfort can you tolerate before it gets there? Because everybody thinks that decoupling is like, and the light shines down and everything is great and it's champagne all around. And no, that's not how it works. That is not how it's going to work. Okay. Web 2, Web 3. Which one do you want? Warren Buffett's like, see, none of the above. I pick Web 3. Make him sell it to you at a good price. DCA in May and June. Now, when you have these larger down moves, let me just come off news for a second. And let's just talk about what happens after you have the type of move that we just had. I agree with one guy on Twitter. I thought about it and I said, you know what? That was probably the most stressful down move I have ever been in. Like FTX was scary, but I saw that coming. This one, because of the Bitcoin ETF, I really didn't see the whole space falling out of bed like that. And I remember the DeFi crash in 2020. Okay, DeFi crash was the rally came out of nowhere, right? It was like, whoa, what is this? But then they unwound it to the point where like, oh my God, we just came out of the bear market. Now we're going back into it. Of course, that gave birth to literally the mother of all rallies, reinforcing what comes from great opportunity comes from great pain. No. Do you recover from a move like this overnight? No. So everyone wants to see their crypto turn around and go up 60% and unwind the whole down move, and I don't see that happening. However, I do see winners presenting themselves early. So Doge, Solana, to me, two big obvious plays. They're saying, hey, look at me. I'm going to be the big winner for the next cycle. Do you have to buy it today? I don't know. But there are a lot of coins that are telling you that they're going to be the survivors. And those are the coins that are going to go up. And some coins may go up, but they may not come all the way back. And sorting out your portfolio, again, this is why I'm doing 3 charts per day in Patreon. 3 charts for every weekday. Every time I publish, I'm doing 3 charts. That does 2 things. 1, it keeps everybody from coming in, getting the charts, and then leaving. Naughty. And 2, it just provides flow as to what's next. Because what's next is bigger than you think. So everyone's like, oh, it's down today. Yeah, okay. You're going to have this for 2 months, probably. 2 months. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, it doesn't feel okay. I mean, it took a toll on all of us. But we got to forget about that. We got to focus on what's next. Warren Buffett doesn't think there is anything up next. I disagree. Okay, so here's a hint about what the charts are. The DeFi breakout now in premium. This is Tribe. There are DeFi and RWA coins that want to break out. They're like this close. They may be retracing today, but DeFi and RWA want to break out. And I don't know if you happen to notice what happened in Render over the weekend. Okay. They want this stuff. They want it. You know, it is amazing how everyone is ignoring this Hong Kong ETF. Okay, yes, you know, the Bitcoin ETF on the first day in the US was big. Hong Kong, hey, we did 655, they did 292 on the first day. Now, this Hong Kong ETF, is that going to get bigger or smaller? Right? Hong Kong stocks are going up, and that government over there is going to print to save face, to save their economy, to save social order, to save their country. Period. You don't have to like them, but they have to protect their people. They have to hold their country together, and they are going to pump liquidity into the system in order to do that. Originally, that's what we did in 2008. We just got addicted to it. But they are going to do it. Now, they seem to be more interested in gold and silver. We'll talk about that. Look, it's probably an old picture. I met the guy at Bitcoin Miami in 2021. You know, you got to remember something. If you got wrecked lately, you got to remember this. This guy bought Bitcoin at like 48 and 60 in 2021 and watched it go to 16 and put up with it with Bitcoin at 16 for 6 months. So if you have to look at Bitcoin below 60, some people think it's going to 50. You know, I don't even know why that would happen. But even if it did, like, we got to learn a lesson from this guy. We think the lesson of this guy is, oh, I'm going to buy Bitcoin and everything's going to be so wonderful. People, this guy took so much heat. The guy from El Salvador took so much heat. So much heat, right? You can't be a legend if you can't take heat. Now, that's not an excuse for irresponsible risk management. If you did a bad trade, you did a bad trade. But this talk that I'm giving you, that you can't be a legend unless you have conviction, unless you're willing to take the heat, before the Eagle King turns on this stream, I say the same thing to myself. So you are not alone. The guy on TV has to say it. And I bet he has to say it. Why do you think he's on Twitter or on a podcast every day, pounding the table on this? It not only helps you, it helps him. Okay, sell in May and go away. Darn it, I didn't use my own line. Okay, it's Celsius. It was April. This one, it was April. I think if the media is picking up on it, it's probably over. My comment is DCA in May. Because there's stuff out there that it's going to go up and then retrace, like Doge. That's an example, right? The DeFi plays may be an example. Although that tribe chart I put on Twitter, man, all you need in some of these coins that really want to go, that again are featured in premium, man, they just want to go. You give them an update and they're ready. And you know what? Solana doesn't care. As you can see by the tape on May 6th, we'll go over it. Okay, Bitcoin will propel the next leg up if this trading pattern occurs. Okay, so again, with Bitcoin, this decline, which was awful. Ugh. I mean, it's like, why am I upset about 57K? It just felt terrible. It felt like this whole thing was going to crack and go to zero. It really did. Now, if this is some sort of flush where they put pressure on everybody who FOMO'd in at the top, then if they can actually break 67, which I agree is the level, then Bitcoin can do better. If you look at gold and silver this morning, I have absolutely no idea what the rationale for being negative on Bitcoin is. Now, is Bitcoin going to be the greatest thing I've ever seen in the short term? No, but you know, again, it doesn't have to be, does it? Okay. This guy. So every day there's a new TikTok video about somebody talking about their life. This is what it's like to live on Social Security, property taxes, young kids. I mean, these testimonials are everywhere. And they are, in my opinion, so powerful. Yes, it's an N=1 example, but these things are powerful. And when I show them, right, the Twitter site is Wall Street Apes. You know, they're showing this kind of on a regular basis. So is Wall Street Silver. You can't quit on crypto. You just can't. I mean, if you got to adjust your position, adjust your position. If you got to touch grass, if you got to take a day off from work and sleep, I'm going to say this every single day. Do what you got to do to stay involved in this. Don't let them shake you out with price action, with FUD, with any of it. Look at this. Vodafone looks to integrate crypto wallets with SIM cards. How long do you think it's going to take before, I don't know, a big electric car company or some phone maker or the Solana phone? How long do you think it's going to take? I saw a joke about, I don't know, let's call them men in power laughing, and in their hand, one of the guys is holding a phone, and it was like, hey, we got them to buy this device that we can listen on. We got them to pay $1,000 for it, and they had to buy a service to use it. The guy that owns the electric car company wants to give you his internet service or wireless service for free for buying the phone. I mean, on one hand, people are going to adopt crypto. On the other hand, it's become absolutely necessary because all this dark stuff is in plain sight. Arthur Hayes, and I agree with this, gradually, then suddenly. Bitcoin hit 62K. It goes down. Everyone gets discouraged. Then maybe it goes sideways and everyone gets discouraged. But he thinks it's a slow grind higher. And believe it or not, when you get to this stage in a trend, right, I call it the three wave, right? You go up, then you retrace a lot of that. Then everybody gets wounded. Then it starts that slow creep, the slow creep, okay? Which eventually turns into, right? Everyone wants, now doesn't work that way. You have to sit and watch it. Today, you know, I don't know. I can't use this term, but let's call it the spoon experience, right? Everyone, every time it goes down after a crash, you're afraid of the falling spoon, right? You go, oh God, not the spoon again. Not red ink. I can't take it. Totally natural response. That will keep you out of the biggest, that kept you out of equities. That will keep you out of the biggest bull markets that have ever been seen. Hard as heck. Grayscale Bitcoin ETF sees first inflow. You mean someone wanted to buy the dip? You mean Grayscale spending tons of money on marketing actually worked? Someone wants an alternative form of currency, Less than 10% of this I don't know what to make of this. Less than 10% of stablecoin transaction volume, I don't know, is not necessarily coming from people. Stablecoins get used by bots and institutions. Okay, so here's how I look at it. The more stablecoins that get created, the more liquidity there is to go after this market when the time comes, and the time will come. Again, look at gold and silver today. Popular crypto wallet MetaMask rolls out smart transactions and a more ambitious roadmap to transform how Ethereum's biggest wallet works. You know what, folks? Whether they get an ETF done or not, I'm going to give it to you very simply. You do not have a cycle without ETH. I swear. And if it's going to be on base, and base was a bunch of hype in the beginning, and now it's going to die down, base will be back because it's got a fiat on-ramp and off-ramp for the Coinbase wallet. And MetaMask knows that. Now, an ETH ETF wouldn't deliver the best returns to investors. So I guess the new obsession is to have an ETH ETF or not. Obviously, it would be good for number go up if institutions had to start hoovering up the ETF. On the other hand, I don't mind having a big cryptocurrency that can be used as money, and that is the highway to Web3. That's not necessarily in the hands of TradFi. I'm okay with it. You know, I think what this market needs is ETH to be moving because Web3 is necessary. That's what I think. Now, could I have to wait for that? Yes. Am I willing to wait for that? Yes, because I want a better future for me and my kid. More than half of the Fortune 100 uses Apple Vision Pro headset. Okay, so it's good that we have additional productivity tools, and I guess it's a computer you wear on your face. So I guess it has benefit. You know, Apple isn't what it is because it doesn't make good products, but do you want that, by the way? Do you? Oh, let's do it this way. Do you have a choice in what you invest in or eventually maybe even use? Bitcoin Ordinals record broken again. How much bigger than they get? The largest ever Bitcoin file was just inscribed. Okay, so about this. So it turned out like I got caught with the it's a dawn of a new era after the halving with this. I continue to believe that the speculative juices underneath Bitcoin can help propel crypto beyond just regular big meme coins. Like this is telling the market, innovate underneath Bitcoin, which Michael Saylor is now doing, and it's about time. Develop underneath Bitcoin, or we'll take all the Bitcoin network bandwidth. I like competition, and I like Mr. and Mrs. Market sending a message. Solana game returning with expanded play-to-airdrop option. We have a gaming report in Patreon Premium. Want to know how many people bought it? I want to say 2 or 3. Want to know how many people bought the report about the event in the late fall as it relates to that and interest rate policy? 7. Now, of course, I would like to take a moment to thank those people for, you know, consuming our research. I appreciate that. 2 and 7. Gaming is going to come back. Commencement ceremonies at schools have been canceled. Kids that started school online are finishing school online. Can it get any sadder than that? Ray Dalio talking about certain phenomenon. You're going to have to go to his LinkedIn and read up on it. There's multiple things. Let's have some fun. Let's play a game. Let's trade some crypto. Let's be positive, right? I could fill this whole show up with, you know, booga, booga, booga. All of that equals lower rates to me, but people got to have some fun. ETH stablecoin volume shattered records. That's BlackRock. That's all these big guys coming in on ETH. Now, there is an article in here about how permissioned closed blockchains may be a part of the real world asset equation. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, here it is. The future of tokenization. Okay. Permissioned blockchain. So, you know, rather than using a public blockchain, they're going to use private stuff. Good luck connecting that. Good luck connecting that to other banks, right? Like BlackRock's got to get connected to everybody, like the Fed. All the parties have to be able to get on this if you really want liquidity. But I do understand some places are going to want their own blockchain. They're going to want their own blockchain. Bernstein analyst doubles down on 150K Bitcoin price prediction. How much is money worth? How much is sound money worth? Okay. And what do you want to do if one day you wake up and there's trouble in the world? Let's just call it that. I think I can say, I hope I can say, trouble does not make an appointment. How does Bitcoin get to 150K? Is it like a Broadway show where we're all like, oh yeah, it's a party? Or is it serious? And is Bitcoin at 60 a joke if you think it can go to 150? Or you think you can go to 100 by the end of the year? And we're all sitting around going, oh man, I don't know if I can touch Bitcoin 62K. I'm afraid it's going to go to 50. Okay, well, that's a legitimate concern. I get it. We all got to manage risk, but are we believers? It's easy to believe in 150 when it's at 79 and it's looking to go to the moon. It's not easy to be convicted on 150 or 100 when it's trading at 62 and it was just at 57 and you don't know if it's going to break again with half the world calling for 50. You know, the best time to believe in 150 is at 50 because that's when the trade gets done. Because you look back 2 months from now and you're going to be like, what was I upset about? Why am I upset? What was I doing? Well, I know what you were doing. Your organic emotions got to you. They got to me, and anyone who says that they didn't have emotions on this last down move, well, they may not be telling you the full story. And to end this, I like this. Former LA mayor joins Coinbase as a policy advisor. Right. So everybody is going to figure out, right, how to have a digital asset. States are going to have digital assets. They may adopt existing currencies, but don't be surprised if you get off an airplane one day and say, hey, it's the city of XYZ, sponsored by Dogecoin. Or Solana is the official cryptocurrency of fill in the blank. I mean, this El Salvador Bitcoin thing, I mean, you think that's going to be an isolated case? I don't think so. I don't think so. People are going to want economic growth and harmony from somewhere. Because when we're done with all this manufactured unhappiness, that's as clean as I can put it, we're going to need to do something different. Bob Marsh calls it the no FUD zone. Okay, can we check Gari Network? I will do my best. Patriot Caveman from New Orleans is here. Matthias has a really good question. What do I think of NFTs? Okay, so a good friend of mine is an artist, and I think NFTs are going to come back as fine art. I think NFTs are going to come back as AI-generated in-game assets stored on a blockchain. Say that 3 times fast. Fine art is next in NFTs, I think, right? Fine art as an asset. I did this thing. It was way too early about art and stocks not being correlated. I think there's going to be a real art market online. They tried to make Bored Ape and a lot of this stuff last cycle into a Sotheby's rare art collectible, and they all bought the top. You know, Sotheby's and the people who we call that in a gold rush, we call them the people who sold picks and shovels made the money. Fine art will be back. Fine art will be back. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go to your market update. Hang on. Okay, so your market update. Here we go. PowerPoint. Let's get into it. Dollar yen. All right. So here's the good news about dollar yen. At 152, there's support. At 164, there's resistance. It never got to 164, thank God. Okay. Central banks did a really good job, in my opinion, of leveraging the weaker than expected payroll report to keep the dollar from skyrocketing and the yen from plummeting. However, the dollar has found support. So if there's anything that gives me pause, it's that, because the currency market, the fiat currency market, wants to continue to press and press and press. Now, that is the only thing I don't like. Gold has probably bottomed after kind of a laughably small correction. If gold takes out 2388, I could see it going to 2700. Now, lately it's been gold up, Bitcoin down. Don't understand why it can't all move together, right? I mean, I understand demand out of Asia for this stuff is off the charts, but why is it off the charts? Why? Right? Because people, are people worried about currencies in Asia? Are they worried about the integrity of currencies outside their country? No, they're worried about the integrities of their own currency. Silver. Gee, I don't think it gets any better than that, right? You go up, you have kind of a buying climax, you come back down, you retest some old support lines, you flush everybody out, the RSI turns up, and you're off to the races. Silver's going to 50. And, if you get higher silver and lower green fiat, that's good for ETH. So I am perfectly content to sit here with silver going up, and waiting for ETH to do its thing, right? We just may have to wait. The precious metals guys had to wait while we mooned crypto for 6 months, right? This is what silver did when crypto was mooning. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Probably drove those guys crazy. We can put up with it for a month or two. Really, we can. We can. Okay, now back to not so good is wheat. Okay, like futures contracts are breaking out. Futures contracts are breaking out. Commodity futures contracts. Okay, I saw a request go by for Filecoin, and I have Solana in the deck. Yeah, this would not be good. Not with the events in November. Like, this could alter things. This could alter things if wheat continues to break out. Matter of fact, this has got kind of a, if you break resistance, there's a lot of distance to the next horizontal support. I'm sorry, the next diagonal resistance point. Now, you have to remember something about commodities, because crypto is a commodity. And when commodities are going up, the green fiat that they're denominated in is falling. So if they can't devalue the green fiat in the currency market, they're doing it in the commodity market. Now, I realize that's a nuanced approach. Crypto isn't trading well. More inflation is not good. I don't know. But outside of wheat, I'm having a tough time, honestly, believing that our inflation numbers, I mean, I know they're true in terms of what you're paying, but I'm just wondering how it got this bad and stayed this bad in this nation in an election year. It's sort of head scratching. Like, some of the social disorder is also head scratching. We need to pay attention to wheat. Okay, MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy hits the 62% retracement of its down move. That's here, right around 1,000, and then bounces. Could you go back and fill some of these gaps? Yeah. If you take out 1,400, the upside target is 2,567. In the stock market, they won't let you use the Bitcoin ETF as collateral to borrow money. They will let you use MicroStrategy. I have no idea why everybody was in such a hurry to puke this stock at 1,000. I mean, I understand profit taking. I understand corrections. I understand that. The correction was deeper than we thought. This is the second time they've totally given up on this stock. I don't get it. Look at this. Who owns the most Bitcoin? Well, there's MicroStrategy and a couple of countries. Marathon Digital, Tesla, Hut 8, Coinbase, Riot, Galaxy. You know what? If you want a huge amount of Bitcoin, well, I guess you got to get it. You know, you'd have to do a over-the-counter trade with a sovereign, or you got to take over MicroStrategy or any and all of these companies. Marathon Digital, 17,000 Bitcoin. Where are you going to get 17,000 Bitcoin if the market starts moving higher? You're going to have to take over the companies. I mean, I'm just going to the mat on this theme. Like, if governments have a huge share of Bitcoin, where is the private sector going to get it from? Solana. Okay, so Solana went up, came back. It's doing well on a down day. Okay. Solana has not really performed well versus Bitcoin during the up move. We'll go over that in a second. I think if Solana can hold above 148, it can go to 248. They have a phone. They have the ability to speculate on events in the fall. And I don't think the desire for meme coins is going to go away for a couple reasons. One, the obvious, actually 3 reasons. One, the obvious, people want to make money. 2, memes could become money, right? And 3, people are sick and tired of these tech-based crypto projects that get hyped. Then, you know, investors, VCs dump on them. And then when the market goes down, these things vaporize. People are tired of that. They did it in 2021, and I didn't think they could do it, but they did it again. They did it again. Okay, Silver Freedom wants to know if Filecoin is a keeper or switch to Render or Sol. Honestly, not investment advice. I think you should have all 3. Remember, Filecoin, Solana, and Render are all multi-coin capital. All of them. We'll try to go over Filecoin. Hey, XRP woke up. You know what I'm saying? Like these bear markets, these down markets, they're funny, right? Like everything goes down. It looks like everything's going to zero. And then one day you wake up and XRP is up 6%. XRP has to get above 57 cents, right? XRP has this really bad habit of going up, not breaking resistance, and then coming back down. Couple of heartbreaks up here. God, I would love it if this thing took off. You know, they say this thing is useless. It could be a fast version of money. Like there's all this drama around this. Like when this thing came out, it was a fast way of moving crypto around blockchains. I mean, I understand the overhang, and I understand that there's more money by investing elsewhere. But you know, God, if Doge goes, doesn't XRP have to go with it? Because, I mean, that's what just happened. Like Doge went and then XRP popped 6%. Here's Doge. Okay, so buying resistance in Doge hasn't worked out. 20 cents was resistance. I'm like, it's going to $1. And Doge is like, hey, you forgot the resistance. And it could be the same thing here, right? Because you go up, right? Now, when these DeMark numbers, this tells you where you are in a trend. You see 9s and 13s, there could be reversals or pauses in trend, like here and here. This was a pause, and this was kind of a bottom. Now, it's organic when you see that 4 number to get kind of a pullback. So it's organic. Today, tomorrow, pullback, Doge. Okay. Now, there is resistance here, but if they take out 16.5, you know, one guy on Twitter who I used to work with, you know, he had a really good point. He said, you know what? How many times is the market going to give you an opportunity to build a position in fill in the blank coin? He happened to be talking about Doge, and I think it's fill in the blank. Render, Solana, ETH. How many times? How many dips are you going to get before you don't get any more dips? Robin says she likes the idea of DCA in May. Okay. And I don't know. I don't know if Bull Runner was talking about inverse head and shoulders in XRP. I have to look at it. I'm not seeing it there. But you could see it in Doge if it comes off to 15 cents and then rotates higher. Yes, that is possible. I mean, again, are you not going to have like a multi-billion-dollar meme become money? I saw a tweet the other day that somebody thought WIF was going to 30x. Wow. Okay, Solana versus Bitcoin. What do you know? Right here, major bottom, major DeMark's a point, automatically drawn by the system. These dotted lines. A mini-ish, higher power candle going on here versus Bitcoin. This could be a textbook double bottom if Solana maintains a bid today or tomorrow by taking out this high on a closing basis. And I don't see why Solana can't unwind all the underperformance versus Bitcoin going back to March. Or said differently, I don't understand why Solana can't go up as long as the market is stable, even if it's a little red. This is a phone company where you can take a trip and buy something that you find interesting. I have 2 of them. I have 2 of them. You can read about them in the report in the Patreon store. Shill. 40-minute report on that. Come on. I like it. It's one of the best things I've ever done. Solana weekly. Okay, this is Solana versus ETH. Sorry, mislabeled. Solana versus ETH pressing its high. You know what? I'm okay with this at multiple levels. First of all, if Solana breaks out versus Ethereum, ETH's got to wind up following at some point. Right? Now, if Solana just flat out breaks out, you could have a one-coin market. Right? You could have this market sitting around and have the multi-coin capital coins led by Solana just be the ones that are just going and going and going. This is just like earlier in the cycle, except, back then it was like whole groups would go. Like it would be AI and then RWA, right? It was very exciting. The old layer ones from the last cycle, right? You'd have these very exciting spurts in entire big sectors. This time in the beginning of the next leg, it could be just individual coins, which of course is harder. It's harder. But if you can narrow them down to 2 to 3 coins, by the way, which we're doing every day in Patreon Premium on a daily basis, if you can break it down to 2 or 3 coins at a time and catch one, you can make money while everyone else is scared. Okay, Bitcoin. So you got resistance at 67. Everyone's looking at the same thing. I'm relatively pleased that there was a 9 bottom and there was no failed rally. Like I would have been not happy if Bitcoin had gone to like 63 and turned around and went back to 60. I'm like, oh my God, that is not good. So sideways to lower Bitcoin for the next 2 days, I'm fine. Fine with that. Okay, and that is the beginning of the gaming presentation, which is, okay, now live TA. Let's see what we got going on here. Huckleberry Native will soul flip ETH. Boy, that would be a weird, wacky world if it did. One thing I can tell you that I believe is going to happen is that you are going to have some shocking valuation somewhere in this market by the time it's all said and done. Could it be Solana flipping ETH? Yeah, I kind of hope not. I kind of hope not, right? Because I think ETH is worth more than that. But, you never know. Never know. Now, Filecoin. Golly, I drew some outside the box trend line on this. I got support around 535. Right now, Filecoin is at 614. And what I always do with Filecoin is I always like zoom out. Why are we selling a coin at $5 when in April of 2022, pre-FTX, this was trading at 28? Multi-Coin Capital likes this. I think even Charlie Shrem, one of my old boss, likes it. This is a bullish downward sloping wedge right? Holding that basketball underwater. You know, what did you do? You broke out, looked great, retested the line. 6 months from now, where is this going to be? You're going to go, wow, I could have bought a retest to the bullish downward sloping wedge, right? Now, I mean, if it's a choice between this and render, I mean, I get it. There's only so much capital. I understand that. Okay. Eagle King is telling me that Harry Potter Sonic Inu is trending again on Twitter, on Dex Tools, rather. They're going after these meme coins. They are. They're going after them. You don't have to like it, really. Somebody said this, like some big, kind of like tech blockchain guy, Red Phone Crypto. I have a huge amount of respect for it, by the way. He's like, sometimes you have to buy stuff you don't really like. I mean, look at Render. Like Render hit this trend line 2 or 3 times and now is sitting right at 992. I mean, let's draw something different in Render. I mean, do you realize just from a hidden pivot point of view, that if Render stays above 880, that the upside target, or maybe I can be bold and draw this. Yeah, maybe this is it. Okay, so let's call it 9.4. So if Render holds above a hidden pivot level at 9.4, this is a 2-day chart of Render, that the upside target is 18. People, artificial intelligence, who do you want controlling that? I'm going to be honest. Okay, I think this is Gari token that somebody is asking me about. Let's check it out. Okay, not getting the greatest read on this. I don't know if I've got the right thing, but I think you're going to start seeing teacup and handle again, and you're going to start seeing maybe head and shoulders bottom. So if you've been suffering in this, maybe give it a chance. You're going to start seeing like big retests of support points. They're everywhere, where is the chart showing all the retests of all support points? I don't want to say it. Okay. Right. So I think that's Gary. I hope I got the right one. What do I have an opinion on Slurf? Huh. Let's check out Slurf. I've heard of this. Okay. So, I am not exactly an expert about meme coins on slugs, if that's what this is, but I think I would rather buy, not investment advice, something that looked like this than I would something that, like, say, spiked up and then spiked up again and died. I don't know. Maybe this qualifies, but, the bigger the base, the higher in the space. I'm not in love with this, but somewhere in there are going to be these meme coins that kind of wake up from the dead. Pancakes and peanut butter. Appreciate that love. Appreciate that love. Let's see. What else do we got? Okay. I did want to do a couple more coins, right? I wanted to do stuff like Aero. Okay, I am going to find Aero. Now, oh yeah, let's do it on Dex Tools. So a lot of times when you have some of these coins that outperform on the way up, it's real easy to kind of forget about them when they don't trade well. Now, I know a lot of people were upset that they missed the bottom in Aero below $1 at the 62% retracement. Well, guess what? Let's go to like 2 hours, AERO is giving you an opportunity to DCA in May. Who knows? You may actually even get it at 99 cents. People, you're going to have to take risk here. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be a comfortable 2 months. You don't recover from something that just, I mean, like views on videos on YouTube, short videos, they like the viewership fell in half. Like this thing, like it was literally like the first Jaws movie. This correction scared everybody out of the ocean. Everyone out of the ocean. Everyone. Even the professionals were like, wow, I really can't believe that just happened. So if this market starts giving you an opportunity again, ask yourself, where's this thing going to be in 6 months? Now, is there something wrong out there? Could wheat go up? Could there be, I don't know. There's always something out there that could scare the market. One day, those things won't matter. One day, the price of wheat won't matter. What'll matter is the price of silver and gold are going up, and there are certain cryptos that should be following that, right? Everyone's like, oh, the debate between crypto and gold. No, not the debate between crypto and gold. It's why are crypto and gold better than everything else that's out there? Come on. Now, I did want to look at this. Really incredible. So as I told you, we're publishing a couple of DeFi charts per day, among other things. Really interesting, because I know we got a guy, Steve, who's big into DeFi perp. Okay, he did get himself a really nice rally, but the rally came back and held the 62% retracement, right? So, I mean, this in retrospect is what happened, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody emotional in 5. And then, yep, and then this, right? A, B, C, right? Kind of like it came out of a book, right? Every trend has 5 waves. The first wave, the third wave, and the fifth wave go in the same direction as the trend. And then you have this down, up, down kind of correction. So a new financial system somewhere, RWA, Solana staking. Look at this. This is JTO, Solana staking. This appears to be a diamond formation. This appears to be like a slow gliding breakout. This is actually we had like 9 fast altcoins for the next part of the cycle. This was at the top of the list. Right through and boom. 350, the upside target is 650. And this is how I'm going to end the stream. Where is Solana going to be if the Solana staking protocol goes from 350 to 630? Okay, Matthias, welcome. Okay, the end of the stream. The question is, who are you listening to? I thank you for listening to me. Please visit the Patreon Wednesday. We'll see you then.